Welcome to Trust Your Inner Sense with Joanne Starkman podcast. I'm Joanne Starkman, and I look forward to going on this collaborative journey with you to ignite inspiration, inspire self-discovery, and instill new meaning in life. I'm excited to host a wonderful array of guests, including innovators, creatives, expert coaches, teachers, and much, much more who come together to share their stories. Each episode reveals how they've embraced their inner sense to pursue their passions and shine their unique lights in the world. We'll have thought-provoking discussions and chat about tools that will provide fresh perspectives to help you create a joyful and meaningful life. As founder and chief visionary officer of award-winning hair care brand Inner Sense Organic Beauty, I am also an avid meditator, platform artist, author, and mother of a special needs young adult. Over 20 years ago, I intentionally brought mindfulness to morning routines by authoring each affirmation on Inner Sense Organic Beauty's products, which we call Innerflections. You can check them out on the back of the bottle. It's my goal to have this podcast to be your warm and compassionate companion, whether you're on a journey for deeper meaning, seeking greater joy, or in need of love and healing. Let's continue our journey of self-discovery, self-care, and self-love. I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive into this week's Trust Your Inner Sense episode now. Hi, friends. Welcome to today's guests, Rhysa Anderson and Abbie Brown. Rhysa and Abbie are co-founders of Baddhare Alliance, a platform created to share the business knowledge and structure that fueled their own success. Through education and support, they empower salon owners with tools for budgeting, financial management, and long-term growth strategies. Rhysa and Abbie know what it takes to build a successful salon business. With more than 30 years of combined beauty industry experience, they transformed Baddhare from a small booth rental to $1 million business. Their journey taught them that too many talented stylists fail at business, not beauty. That's why they created Baddhare Alliance, to share their knowledge and structure that helped them thrive. Their journey began in 2017 with the opening of Baddhare Salon in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. In 2019, they expanded with Baddhare Clean Mission, bringing cleaner beauty and lifestyle options to their community. By 2021, the two concepts came together under one roof, evolving into Baddhare Brand, a space that celebrates diversity and allows every guest to personalize their experience through choice. And impressively, in 2023, Baddhare earned national recognition as one of Salon Today's top 200 salons, placing them in the top 1% of over 1.5 million stylists across the country. Plus, these two savvy women are committed to sustainability. Baddhare partners with Green Circle Salon, reducing salon waste up to 95%, transforming foils into bike parts, hair color into clean energy, and more. They're also proud adopters of a portion of the Myrtle Beach shoreline, joining 19 local businesses in keeping the coast clean. Welcome, Rhysa and Abbie. You two are incredible. Like, reading that whole thing, I mean, how did that feel for you? Because I'm like, girls, you have been busy. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a lot. I guess sometimes you're so focused on what's next that it's nice to take a step back and acknowledge what we have accomplished, which has been amazing.
I guess I should have asked you guys to take a deep breath before I read all of that. Sit back and enjoy and listen to the fabulous journey. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Inquiring minds want to know, how did you two meet?
Oh, this is a great story.
This is a good one.
We actually met through a mutual friend of ours, Leslie Minnick, who is our salon manager and our wellness educator for Baddhare Salon. She actually has Live On with Les as well as a wellness consultant. And so years ago, she was a client of mine, and she knew that I was looking for an assistant. And so she suggested that I interviewed Miss Abbie. And so she came in and interviewed with me. This is whenever I just was like a booth renter. I didn't even have Baddhare open yet. And I loved her right off the bat. She was amazing. We just I know her vibe, our energies, we just jammed out. And I offered her a position, and then she actually turned me down. She said no.
Uh-oh, wait, Now, wait, let's switch over.
Oops.
Abbie, this is going to be the he said, she said, or her, she said
Oh,
of
goodness.
relationship courting. So what was the no about?
Well, I was actually expecting my first child, and I sat down with Risa, and she was, looking for somebody that was ready to go full time, all the things. And little did I know, I was pregnant with my first son, and I just wasn't ready for that. And so, even though I really wanted to take the position, and I felt all the same things about her, um, I was just like, oh, I don't know, I can't do this. It felt like a big commitment. And so I kind of leaned into something was telling me no, not yet. Didn't say like close the door, but I was young, and I'm pretty sure I just kind of gave her the Heisman and like avoided her for a little while. Oh
I
goodness.
love that. Oh, that's so sweet. And so then obviously you guys finally circled back
Yeah.
We
around.
did.
So
We
fast
did.
forward a year and a half later, I had my first child as well. And then it was the right time that she did come on as my assistant. And it's been history since then.
Yep.
Oh, I love that. Well, before founding Bad Hair, what were some of the challenges you two faced as stylists in the beauty industry?
I would say my biggest challenge was just finding a place that I could thrive. I think many stylists experience being in maybe a toxic salon environment or just somewhere where you don't feel like you can be yourself, somewhere that you're not getting the right support. And so that's what was really important to me is creating a space that my stylist could come in and feel good about. The work environment was very positive and supportive. And that was one thing that was like a big missing piece to my puzzle and why I was so adamant about opening my own space to create that environment that I was missing for myself. So that would be my challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me it was mostly about education. I went through school, and as we all do, you learn the basics, and then it's like you take your test and you're just thrown out into the real world and expected to, start working on real people. And I really struggled with that transition of like, okay, I had support, but then now everything is up to me in order to find more support and ask more questions. And so when I was looking for a salon home, and one of the reasons I was drawn to Risa was just because she was very education based. And I knew that that's the type of place I needed to go into. I visited a few salons where you could just tell that wasn't the case, or it was kind of like a one man out for themselves type environment. And I knew really quickly what I didn't want. And so I think that because I was able to experience what I didn't want, it kind of helped me then form what I did want, for myself. And then eventually, being able to provide that to other people through Bad Hair and Bad Hair Alliance.
Amazing. That's incredible. Well, thank you for that. So getting back to the partnership, could you tell me a little bit about, kind of what roles you two take, like what your lanes are and how your different talents and skills like complement one another? I'm always interested in this, of course, because working with Greg, I know we have very, very different skills and very,
Right.
very different lenses. So I just would love to kind of hear from you two, like what are the differences in your talents and skills and kind of what do you both bring to the table?
It's funny that you say that because I feel like that's why Abby and I thrive so much is because like where I might fall short, she has me and like vice versa. So I do a lot of things like operational and educational. So we have what's called Bad Hair University at Bad Hair Salon. So we have classes just about every Monday morning that our team shows up to, and I'm the main educator that facilitates that most of the time. And then also I'm in charge of scheduling, doing one-on-ones, just being kind of like that day-to-day person. And then Abby, she thrives in numbers for sure. She is cut and dry. What's the number? She wants to know so she can put it in her spreadsheet.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
So
love that.
I love all the finance, all the numbers. And so, like Risa said, like we pretty early on, I would say, we're able to kind of, at one point we were absorbing all of the roles in the business when it came to leadership. And, we've always been kind of clear on what we enjoy, but then also some things that we could delegate. So as the years have gone on, we've kind of held on to certain roles and then kind of passed on certain roles. And we just try really hard to communicate and, speak openly about what's working and what's not. And then try to just kind of roll with it. And, we kind of see that if an obstacle or a challenge comes up, that okay, yeah, it's happening. Now what are we going to do differently next time in order to get a different result? We kind of try to look at those challenges in a different lens so that it doesn't, while yes, it stings. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to lie. It definitely stings. We try to just use it as what we can do differently next time and kind of, our ammo to keep moving forward. So we try really hard to just be open and communicate about what those things are. And ultimately we're able to kind of move on along.
I love that you brought up communication. I would love to know if you have any tips or tricks that you two use together. Do you have anything specific that you use as far as like communication? Have you guys really learned each other's communication style? I mean, I'm kind of asking for myself, honestly. I'm like,
It makes
can I
me
get
laugh
a
because it's Abby's face. Usually I could just look at her. She doesn't even have to tell me anything. I
is
know
that
she's
right? Okay, so she's
oh,
like
yeah.
she
Oh,
wears
goodness.
her emotions on her face then. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
You're not a
do.
good
absolutely.
poker player, Abby, huh?
I'm
No.
not. No, and it's got its goods and its bads, like they never have to know where they stand with me. Like I can be honest, I can be real about it, but then
Yeah.
I don't know, it's definitely good and bad. I think Risa, she's very like she's a very strong personality. She's a very emotional person in a good way. So same kind of thing. Like we both are very strong individuals that bring very different personalities and characteristics to the table. And I kind of think, where I need to soften up a little bit, she's got my back, and where she needs to be, a little bit more firm and in the sand, I've got her back. So it's kind of like,
Mhm.
we don't see them as bad. We just are each other's kind of good person.
Mhm.
I
And
love
we
that.
agree. I would say like 95% of the time, we're like on the same page about things. And I would say that 5% of the time, whenever we're seeing something differently, we just have the utmost respect for one another. So I
Of
think that's what
course.
makes it work is that I can respect her point of view and she can respect my point of view. And we can come up with something that like is going to meet in the middle or work for both of us. But I think that huge respect that we have for one another and the fact that we do communicate probably I mean, it's weird if I go a day without talking to Abby because she's my business partner, but then she's also my best friend. So whether we're calling each other up talking about the kids or calling each other up talking about the breakdown that we had at the salon, we're just in like constant communication.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing. I love that you brought up the word respect. That was something that I feel like I recognized very early on in mine and Greg's relationship, no matter how much we would see things differently or have like a different lens, we could always have a certain level of respect for one another that never
Mhm.
faltered ever, ever, ever. So I think that's a great underlining tool for any relationship is to
Mhm.
constantly refocus back on the respect that we have for the other person. So that's
Absolutely.
an amazing thing. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Nice tip for me to remember. Thank you.
You're welcome, Greg.
Greg's gonna thank you. Yeah. So, I'm curious, was there a risk that you took in business that didn't go as planned? And like, what did it teach you maybe? I'm just wondering, for other business owners out there, like, were there things that, maybe something that didn't go as planned or maybe something that was like exceeded your expectations either way that, was kind of felt like a big risk for you?
I do. I have something that came to mind. Do you,
Yeah.
Abby?
Yeah, I do, but go ahead.
I would say whenever we made the decision to bring the 2 salons together, because, we have our original location that was on the smaller side that we originally opened up Bad Hair with, and then we opened up the second location for our clean mission. And whenever we chose to bring the 2 together, that entailed a lot of construction and a big risk that we moved into a 3,000 square foot space. And nobody can mentally prepare you for construction. Like, it was just one of those things where I was like, holy shit, if somebody would have given me the heads up as to like what this was really going to entail, I don't know if I would have signed up for this. So it was really challenging. The reward on the other side of it was 100% worth it. And I'm glad that we risked everything because it is amazing that we were able to bring our two business models together, be able to support our clients with the option for clean beauty and draw everybody's attention more so to that. But that was a big risk and it was challenging, but I'm really happy that we did it.
Amazing.
Hmm.
I was going to say my biggest risk is becoming a salon owner.
Hmm.
I think that's I think that's a huge. I watch stylists often
Yeah.
in that chair, like right before they're taking the leap to do it. And of course,
Hmm.
from my mind in the rear view mirror, having been there myself so many years ago, I'm always like, you can't tell somebody how gratifying it's going to be and how they're going to be successful. But anyway, I didn't mean to take your thunder there, Abbie. I
No,
just,
not at all.
yeah.
I mean,
I'd love
that's
to hear your
100%.
story about it. Yeah.
I mean, that's how, that's how it is. I think, and if you would have asked me, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, if I was going to be a salon owner, I would have straight up told you no. That was
Mhm.
never part of my plan. And I almost felt like when I was stepping into the role, I almost felt like there was something wrong with that. Like most salon owners or business owners in general, that's what they've always wanted. But for me, it was more of I had made these steps kind of in my career, both professionally and personally, that we got to that position. And when Risa asked me to come on as a co-owner, it felt like it was the right step. It just felt like it was what was supposed to happen. And the people that know a lot about me know that I don't love change. I don't usually open it with welcome arms. And that was a big step for me to be like, okay, I'm going to lean in. Like I'm going to do it. And I, I lost sleep over, all the things that we all do when we're going through a big change. But looking back, if I could told myself then what I would have gotten, I never would have believed. I never would have believed it because I still sometimes don't believe that I'm doing it. But I think that was my biggest risk, just leaning in and choosing to just go all in, maybe when my mind or my other subconscious was telling me not to. But I'm really glad I did.
Yeah, amazing. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, what's one thing about your journeys that would surprise the audience the most, do you think?
Hmm.
Goodness. Hmm. Maybe that um I was the co-owner of $1 million salon before the age of 30 years old.
Yeah, amazing. Congratulations. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's a good one. The other thing that might surprise the audience is this is going to be about Abbie as well, is that, she started as my assistant. So the fact that you go from being a salon assistant to being the co-owner, in what, Abbie, that was 3 years, four
Yeah.
years. I
Yeah,
mean, it
3.
happened very quickly for her. She's a great worker and, I can't say enough good things about Abbie. So that would be another thing that I think is very surprising about her.
That's a
Thank you.
great
That was sweet.
that's incredible. How
Mhm.
sweet. Um, well, I want to jump to the most exciting thing, or one of the most exciting things for me to hear about is congratulations on launching the Bad Hair Alliance app.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm super excited for you guys. So what inspired you to bring the membership and resources into an app format? Like what was the inspiration for that?
Well, we were looking for something that was going to be convenient and easy for salon owners to have the right support and learn the things that they needed to learn about business so that they could be successful. like you were mentioning in the beginning here, that there's so many salon owners that they fail not because they're not good at beauty and the art of doing hair. They fail because they're not prepared to be a business owner and they don't know what they do need to know to run a successful business, right? We went to cosmetology school, not to business school. So we want some of these like easy things um to be taught to our audience out there and for them to be able to run successful businesses and not end up closing. So we wanted the convenience of learning, like we're all on our phones all day long, right? So if we can make it easier to jump on an app, have a community, be able to watch some videos and learn some things that are just going to be easy for them to adopt into their businesses. And just make their experience as a salon owner that much better and feel supported.
Yeah. Amazing. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Wow. And apps are no joke. I know from firsthand. it takes
Yeah, it
it
was
takes
no
a bit to build and
it
Yeah.
does,
yeah.
and we're still building it. We just launched our first program, which is going from burnout to and that's finding financial clarity with your money map. So we launched our tool that really is all things finance. It's totally, again, Abby's jam, her being our finance guru. But this app and this tool pretty much gives you everything you need to track what's going into your business, your budgeting, what's going out of your business, and really to just make sure that you can stay profitable and understand what's happening financially behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. I mean, I think that is one of the I can remember being a young stylist, and that was like when I first launched my very, very, very small business way back when. That was, I mean, and I was using like, I'm going to date myself, like a paper ledger, you guys, come
Mhm.
on now. But having to learn, a little bit about, the top end of accounting and like, where does the money go and how,
Mhm.
what percentage of the money should be put in what places and things like that. So that's so, I mean, I'm not saying that that's what you're teaching. I don't expect anybody to be using a ledger anymore, but
Well, but what we've found, Joanne, is that
yeah,
it sometimes is going back to the basics. Like
right.
Mhm.
it sometimes is more about the foundational piece of just where is your money coming in from and where is your
Mhm.
money going out to? Because those are, that's going to answer a lot of the questions that
Mhm.
most business and most salon business owners have, but just they don't have the time or the energy or the right, systems or tools in place. And so that's kind of why we started with this tool, because it was important to us to be able to showcase how clear it can be when you spend a little bit of time focusing in that area. And then once salon owners can see the benefit of, what 30 minutes of tracking is going to do for your business, then they'll realize, okay, this is how important this is. And now what we can do with that money or what we can do with
Mhm.
that time. It's all
Yeah.
going to be built on that. But you're right. I mean, it truly goes back to just the foundations. And if a
Mhm.
paper and pen is what it takes, then
Right.
that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, amazing. I love that. Yeah, I mean, it is, I think it's definitely probably one of the toughest parts that I've seen in the salon industry, just the business end of it for us creatives. Like, what are some of the biggest challenges you've seen salon owners face in maybe in the financial regard or like what are some of the things that you see that you can support people to overcome?
The biggest thing would just having no financial clarity.
Mm,
I mean, numbers tell a story. So if you aren't tracking and you don't have a pulse at all as to like what's coming in, then how do you know what you can spend and what's going to go out? So it's really just starting with that basic tracking to understand what's coming in and then you can really understand what's going on in your business because really whenever we start to support salon owners the biggest thing is it's not necessarily how are we going to make more money, it's more so like okay how are we going to budget and get you to stop spending so much money. You would have
mhm.
so much more if you just understood better where it's going and where you need to maybe cut back.
Yeah, I mean, it's like where make the wise choices on where the money's going because I think
Yeah.
we as stylists we're really lucky we have the opportunity to really be very very abundant, right? I
Hmm.
mean, I think it's pretty impressive what salons and even just individual stylists can make for themselves, and to be able to learn, make way more than beyond just a living wage. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very exciting to see. And I mean, I know for me, starting Inner Sense, it was like that was one of the areas where I felt like I wanted to support stylists and up level the stylist industry, just so that stylists could think more of themselves, feel more healthy, really want to be able to provide something for the industry. And I can totally see that you two are doing that. So I'm so happy that, to know you guys and to know that we can be connected and be in the same
Yes.
community.
Thank you. Me
Well,
too.
speaking of community, is like that's kind of one of my big areas that I love. And then also, sustainability, of course. So, has there ever been pushback or tension in balancing the idea? Or can you talk a little bit about like your kind of sustainability movement and the community? And like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I live a little bit in a bubble or a box over here. And it's just always like the lens that I'm looking at it through. And I don't really feel like oftentimes I get like the feet on the street and like what is really
Mhm.
happening in the clean, green, sustainable movement as far as salons are concerned? And like what does the front line look like, you guys?
Yeah. So what's really important to us is that we have harvested a community within our salon first that really
Mm,
cares,
mhm,
because we know that it starts with us. And so something that we and I won't say that we've always done this, but something over the years that has become very important to us is hiring to culture,
mhm.
is making sure that the staff that we are bringing into the business to work has a lot of the same values as what we have at our core. So that very first interview, we're sharing with them like these are the things that are important to us. This is our vision, this is our values. Just being very upfront and transparent so that anyone that is coming onto our staff is very aware of this is how we do things. And then once they're a part of our team, they understand why and the importance of what we're doing and the difference that it's making for, we live at the beach. We see some of the direct impacts
Right.
that that the world is having right now. And so once they're a part of our team and they kind of get a feel for how we do things, then it's almost sort of like they have become a part of the community. And now it's what can we do? What else can we do?
Mhm.
Um, and that's where we kind of involve our clients. So I would say the majority of our clients, if not all of them, are well aware of what we recycle with Green Circle and where we send it, and we're very transparent with how much we've recycled and what that is then turned into.
Clients
Um,
think it's so cool
oh
too.
yeah, they
They
love
love
to be a
that.
part of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, we've done our part to try to host events where they can bring in additional items and recycle it with us. So we just try really hard to include anyone and everyone in the efforts that we're doing because we know how important they are for us within the beauty industry alone. So we can only imagine what it would do if we could get everyone else involved too. So we just try to do that. And, we just show up every day authentically being who we are at heart. And then, the people find us for those reasons. Like
Mhm.
they look for salons that do what we're doing. And so we're just hoping that other salons and other businesses will also take part in it because they see the impact that we're making and InnerSense is making and Green Circle and a lot of the companies that we are proudly affiliated with.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Well, getting back to your Bad Hair Alliance group and community, like what would you say to a stylist? Like, who are the stylists that would benefit from what you're doing? Or what would you say to the stylists out there, like whether they feel like maybe something that might be something that could benefit them?
I would say do it, whether it's with us or you find another group that could support them on the business side of salon, to do it, because you don't have to do it alone. I mean,
Mhm.
whenever I started Bad Hair, I didn't know what I was doing at all. I mean, it was bad. I fell down, got all the bumps and bruises. I mean, for the first couple of years, it's kind of like, okay, sure, I have my own salon, but what does that actually really mean? So it's kind of like I wanted to make the mistakes for everybody else first and like let me set you off on the right foot before you do have to struggle on your own and not know what you're doing. Because again, a lot of us have these visions. We're creatives, like you said, you just have this grand idea of like what it would be like to have your own salon business and the environment that you want to provide for your staff, and then you really don't know what that means for like as a business sense, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So I would say, if you're thinking about opening up your own salon, just to get the right support, because you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You really don't.
Yeah. I would say don't be afraid to ask for help. I
Hmm.
think, unfortunately, we're at a day and age where we as humans feel, we almost feel less than if we have to ask for help or we admit that we don't know something or that we can't do something. And what's really important to me is for people to know that there are resources out there and there are people who want to help. Like I can't tell you how much joy it brings Risa
Hmm.
and I when a salon owner or both someone that's currently in the trenches or maybe someone that is about to go through it. Like it brings us so much joy when people do reach out because it's something that we are super passionate about and I love to do. But a lot of times I don't know that you're struggling until you're looking for help. So I would say just don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. There are resources out there. There are people that are ready and willing to help you. Um, and just because you need the help, it means nothing other than you have big goals, which is great. You just don't know how to get there. And there are
Mhm.
people who can help you get there if get out of your own way, which we've all had to do one time or another. So,
Yeah,
Hmm.
big time. Every day of my
yep,
life.
yep, me too. So,
Yeah, I hear you. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, where can people find you? Like, what's the easiest way? Like, where are you guys at? Where are you found? Just so they
The
can.
best way would be to hit us up on Instagram.
Okay.
So visit us at on Instagram at Bad Hair Alliance. We also have a landing page, badhairalliance.com. Just go download our app. That would be amazing as well. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways to find us.
Okay.
Yeah, and just
Incredible.
reach out and connect. I mean, we love, again, like Abby said, it brings us so much joy. I don't know what it is about helping other salon owners, but it's so satisfying. And I love watching other people thrive and succeed and not have to go
yeah.
through some of the frustrations that we went through as being new business owners. So any way that they want to reach out and connect, and we have a lot of different options as far as what our support looks like. So we're here for anybody and everybody who wants to connect with us.
I think that's just the DNA of a hairdresser. Like, I don't know
I know,
about
you're
you
like, "Let
guys,
me
but
help
it's just,
you."
I know, isn't it? Like, we're always like, we just want to fix a problem. We want to solve a
Yep.
problem. Let me fix your hair. What? You
Yeah.
need your car worked on? Well, I know a mechanic. Like,
Mhm.
it's,
We're the fixers for sure.
yeah.
Yep, we are.
So that's very, very sweet. Well, Risa, Abbie, thank you so much for sharing your journey and your wisdom with us today from transforming Bad Hair Salon into $1 million brand to creating Bad Hair Alliance. You've shown us what's possible when passion meets purpose. And when
Mm.
stylists are empowered with tools to thrive, not just behind the chair, but in business as well. Your commitment to sustainability, community, and education is a powerful reminder that beauty goes far, far beyond appearance. It's about impact, growth, and leaving the world a better place than we found it.
Mhm.
To our listeners, may this conversation inspire you to believe in your own vision, invest in your business, and remember that with the right support, burnout can transform into brilliance. Until next time, keep listening to your heart, your purpose, and always trust your inner sense. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode, dear friends. I would be thrilled to hear which part resonated with you the most. Your reflections on today's topic and how it sparked action in your life mean a lot to me. Feel free to share your thoughts at podcasts@innersensebeauty.com or leave a review. I look forward to you coming back next week to explore another exciting topic together. If you'd like to dive deeper, be sure to check out the show notes for some valuable links. Until we meet again, take good care of yourself. Know that you are surrounded by love and always trust your inner sense. Wishing you all the best, friends.